everybody. This is Lauren Dalvia. I'm an astrologer and spiritual teacher here at Bene Mudra. And this is your astrological update for January 17th through the 23rd. What we have this week coming up on the 19th, Aquarius season begins for real with the sun's ingress into Aquarius. And then the sun is going to be conjunct in the same spot in the sky as Saturn on January 23rd. So this Aquarius season is going to be about the focus on new rules, new social restrictions, and emerging authority. It's only good. It's a little heavy, but it's also innovative. There's a volatile Mars and Uranus conjunction in Taurus. That's happening on US Inauguration Day on the 20th. That unites actions with liberation and shock. So there's potential for accidents. There's potential for real violence, but also extreme freedom. So anything can happen. And Uranus is very much the wild card of the skies. So as I always say, Uranus is like you walk outside and a piano falls on your head. It's also you walk outside and someone hands you a check for $1 million. It's like he's the great awakener. So and he's the planet of surprise. So you can't predict. We also have Mars squaring Jupiter in Aquarius. That's happening on the 23rd. That exaggerates basically everything I just said with a rush of enthusiasm, risks outweighing benefits, sometimes misplaced confidence if you don't move slowly and consciously. So you just want to remember to be mindful this week and be careful. And remember that when everything is happening that coincides with Sun and Saturn. Saturn is our rules and restrictions. That means there will be enforced limits. So these actions will all feed off of the energy of Jupiter-Uranus square, which is happening on Sunday the 17th. So I'm just going to give a little hit for each sign, what you might expect and some of the energies that are about this week. So Aries, the sun is in your social area. That's conjunct Saturn. That's activating key friendship commitment, social boundaries, or things related to your public image. So new social rules can be at the forefront, along with restrictions and responsibilities. So who you trust might be defined, like who your tribe is, your people. In some cases, you could take on more public authority. Mars is also in your area of personal resources. This can trigger changes, surprising changes in earned money and values. This could be suddenly, this is like sudden motivation to stand up for oneself, or to act boldly on your own behalf, and just know that risk is something that is involved, especially where money and reputation are concerned. If there's opportunity to earn more and earn differently, absolutely check it out, and absolutely use caution. Like you just want to get clear about everything. Exaggerating actions can kind of cause disruptions. So you just want to try to measure your response. Taurus, the sun is in your career area, and that's conjunct Saturn. This kind of can illuminate new positions at work, professional authority, emerging ideas around what your field of work is. Future goals get highlighted, get further defined with what you're allowed to do in order to succeed at your highest, and what you must do in order to move ahead. There will be more work, and it's just kind of like, are you willing to step in? Mars is in your sign, and including this conjunction to Uranus that is happening on Sunday the 17th. This can signal a burst of freedom, also impulsive behavior. So suddenly you see a breakthrough that appears to offer success, an exciting change, or change may be thrown at you and you might have to scramble. So either way, do your best to think before you act. Don't allow impatience or anger to push you into unsafe territory. Professional opportunity can also offer a lot of growth, but there also will be radical change in terms of image and lifestyle. So just some actions might be irreversible. So you just want to consider everything before bridges are burned. It's just like, it's a week where there's a lot of movement, but like we need to exercise caution. We're really holding both, which is frankly, I think an allegory for everything that's going on right now. Like we're holding restriction and limits with like bold change. Gemini, the sun is in your opportunities area. That's conjunct Saturn. This can activate a movement, graduation, official proclamation involving legal matters, traveling, publishing, education. A new path into uncharted territory is illuminated, and you have a set course to follow. Some rules will be unbendable. Mars is in your hidden sector. This can trigger a background surge of anger or excitement that can go unnoticed by others, but you will feel it. You might feel this restless urge to escape or break out, or like the sudden exposure of an impulse can rattle you, but most of this will be invisible to others. This is internal. So you just want to tune into hidden motivations if you're feeling out of control, and know that actions you feel compelled to take might not totally be grounded in reality. So just double check before you leap. Cancer. The sun is in your sector of shared resources, conjunct Saturn. This highlights new responsibilities, new boundaries involving intimacy, psychological matters, shared finances. This could be an inner block or an area that takes extra work or restraint, since you will not have full control over the results. And who does? Someone else might be setting the rules, for sure. Aspects to Mars in your area of socializing. This can trigger public anger, argument, unpredictable actions involving others. You could be encouraged to do it differently, or attack or defend if you're feeling cornered. But be aware that impulse is not your friend here. While there is an opportunity to make social breakthrough or gain notoriety for yourself, the reactions to others will be the reactions of others, it will be unpredictable. So you really want to be in response rather than reaction. I mean, always, but to be especially mindful of that this week. Pay attention to buried impulses. You just pause when agitated or doubtful. Pause is the name of the game for you this week, Cancer. Leo, the sun is in your relationship area. That's conjunct Saturn. This activates limit or commitment in a partnership. So this could be about your responsibilities to them or their increased authority and boundaries. A new chapter of this one-on-one connection will be defined, and it will set the pace for the next 2 years. So aspects now to Mars are in your career area. This can urge you to make a sudden move regarding a new job, or issues with the government or management, or your desire to get ahead. So there could be a break with tradition or an argument as you struggle with authority. So just, you want to slow down a bit and see if like anything that's, anything that's comes your way is something that, if people can really deliver it. Virgo, the sun is in your area of routine conjunct Saturn. So this defines new rules and obligations regarding health or work or routine or service to others. You might feel weighed down by this, but just consider what must be done versus the extra like that you're taking on. In some cases, there could be new restrictions regarding self-care, new limits, like kind of, you're bullied into self-care a little bit, which isn't bad. Aspects to Mars are in your opportunities area. They can encourage you to take a leap forward in terms of travel, education, legal matters, or publishing. Exploring the unknown or pushing an issue based on luck or courage can feel super exhilarating, and there's a chance to activate unexpected benefit. But we also need to proceed carefully. What you haven't planned for can trip you up, and taking on more than you can handle can burn you out. So you just want to use caution, especially if you're moving around. I know not a lot of us are moving around, but if you're traveling around, like extra caution is advised. The sun is in your area sorry, Libra. The sun is in your area of self-expression. So this is defining a limit and responsibility with the Saturn. Involving new attraction or creative work. So what you want can be clarified along with the reality of the situation. There may be extra work demanded if you want to succeed. It's like, how seriously do you want to take a hobby or your talents? So Mars is also in your sector of shared resources this week. So this can uncover a secret or deliver a revelation in terms of shared finances or intimacy or psychological matters. Buried anger, impatience, passion, all that stuff can surge, and reactions they will not be totally within your control. So you just want to use caution if you're tempted to overindulge, whether it's drugs or alcohol, food, sex, whatever. Push new or if you're encouraged to push a new attraction forward, you just want to use caution, which doesn't mean don't do it. It's just use caution. Financial matters can also veer out of control if someone else is calling the shots. So again, use caution. Scorpio, the sun is in your domestics area, and that is conjunct Saturn. This illuminates new responsibility to a family member, an ending or emerging limits in terms of your home or business. Especially if your business is at home. This domestic chapter will feel like it can feel like you're being dragged down, and indeed you are being forced to focus on a specific area. It may be time to turn inwards and tend to the past. Mars is in your relationship sector. That suggests that a partner or competitor's actions can catch you off guard. They can react angrily, impulsively, or with excitement. You could feel rushed or even bullied by what they do, and know that you still have the power to say yes or no, even if there's a sudden exit. Like, you decide how you react. You can't control them, but like you're in control of nothing other than your own thoughts, actions, and behavior. So that's a great reminder this week. All of us, but especially for Scorpio. Sagittarius, or Scorpio rising. Sagittarius, sun is in your communication sector in this conjunction with Saturn. This highlights official documents, official answers, official messages, new limits on what you can say, or an enhanced focused on a new area of interest can be activated. Also, this could be the start of a course of study, a mental regimen, just like a new regimen in general. Mars is in your sector of routine. This can trigger a sudden change in daily routine, ways of being with regard to health, or that with that of someone you're helping, health or ways of being. There can be a surge of energy that can result from impulsive and optimistic ideas, but there's also a risk or accident if you move too quickly. So pay attention to what you can actually do versus what you think you can do. That's just really important this week for Sagittarius. Just like, what can you actually do compared to what you think you can do? Again, meditation, prayer, clarity. Capricorn, the sun is in your sector of personal resources conjunct Saturn. This illuminates a key financial responsibility or a personal boundary. This could involve extra work needed to earn, or extra focus on emerging values and self-esteem. Security and material goods will now be defined in a new way. Mars is in your area of self-expression. This can pump up enthusiasm and the desire to take risks. New attraction, creative work, desire to cut loose or play loose can be exciting and can motivate you to push forward. But what's fun and attention grabbing can actually easily go too far if you don't balance actions with caution before you take that risky move. Consider if you're prepared for the fallout. It's very Capricornian. There is luck and opportunity here, but it's advisable to remind yourself that exaggerated efforts can do some damage, and so I think the name of the game this week, because Saturn is everywhere, is just like, there's so much opportunity for expansion, but also when Saturn is there, so too will there be limits, like, period. Aquarius, the sun is in your sign right now. It's moving into your sign on the 19th. It's conjunct Saturn. That activates a key responsibility area of authority, or a new, pure and sober chapter to your life. Recent restrictions and increased work can be increased even more, encouraging you to publicly define what matters most and who you are now, like the new you. Aspects to Mars in your domestic area suggest upheavals at home and with family, or a sudden urge to relocate or escape. The square from Jupiter in your sign will increase your courage, your impatience, and your readiness to jump in the future. So your response can also, to a domestic disturbance, this can also be highly energized and resilient. But before you make any radical moves, just know that destruction is a risk if you don't proceed with some caution. Once again, keep your eyes open, stay alert, and remember that Saturn in your sign says that certain rules must be followed. And finally, Pisces, the sun is in your hidden sector conjunct Saturn. That illuminates a background fear or limit, or the emerging qualities of an ongoing ending. What's shutting down or keeping you in check will not be easily accessible. But if you pause and focus on inner matters, secrets, spirituality, the unseen, anything that's behind the scenes, you will have a clearer understanding of what's happening. Pisces lives in the 12th house, the house of the unseen, the house of the psyche, the house of psychology, the house of God. Aspects to Mars in your communication area are suggesting unexpected arguments or radical actions based on odd or eccentric ideas. Messages can be aggressive and motivating. This can push you to do something that is truly sine qua non original, but also incredibly risky. So while this might feel positive and there is a potential for a breakthrough that opens your eyes to something quite valuable and quite new, your prescription of what's real may be skewed. You want to check in with hidden hopes or unexamined beliefs and make sure that you're totally conscious of how you're acting. That's the name of the game, to be conscious. Meditation, meditation, meditation. That is the astrology update. I thank all of you. I am available at benimudra.com for private consultation in astrology, numerology, spiritual teaching, soul coaching. I do these updates with gratitude to my mentors, Diana Brown and Grow Engelstoft. And this update is based on the work of Nadia Gilchrist, who's an amazing astrologer, and I thank her as well. And Remington Donovan, who's my numerology and linguistics mentor. I am available on Instagram at Lauren, Lauren underscore Dalvia, Dalvia is my personal account, and my business account is at 1111 Guided, and you spell the words 11 out. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful week. Exercise caution, but be bold. Cheers.